Hi, everybody. I want to welcome you. My name is Scott Schumacher, if you don't know me already. I wanted to welcome you to my channel and also welcome you to some of the offerings that I'm doing with my new website called northerndruid.net. So that's www.northerndruid.net. One of the new things that I'm doing, actually, it's an old thing that I've done quite a long time. I've been offering some card readings, whether that's some tarot card reading or some angel card readings that I've done. Back in 2001, I was a semi-professional reader for the Miss Cleo tarot reading network. If you remember her, she was the very boisterous psychic on TV that would say, "Call me now for your free reading," and it was hot at those times. People loved her. People loved the whole idea of it until that network kind of collapsed and they were sued and Miss Cleo went to court. But anyways, that's just an aside. One of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm providing tarot and angel card readings for folks, and I wanted to kind of talk about my process and also share a quick reading with you so you can understand what a reading is like. So I read from a bunch of decks. One of the ones that I read from a lot is the Wildwood Tarot. And the Wildwood Tarot is by Mark Ryan, John Matthews, and illustrations by Will Worthington. It's a renewal of an old deck that I have again called the Greenwood Tarot. The Greenwood Tarot is an old out-of-print deck. I'll show you the cover. This is the Greenwood Tarot. This is my first tarot deck in 1996 that I ever purchased and that I learned how to read with, and how to meditate with cards with. And both of these, the Greenwood and now the Wildwood Tarot, are kind of the mythos of Celtic wisdom of the ancient primordial forest or pre-Celtic shamanism. Sometimes there are animals or different cards in place of the major and minor arcana. So it has a little bit of a different system. It's more of forest lore, and I think that the cards are really more accessible. So I read from that a lot. And so actually, I never really learned to read tarot from the traditional tarot decks. This is how I learned tarot, was through the Greenwood and the Wildwood Tarot, and then I became a certified angel card reader through Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine through Hay House. So let's just do a sample reading. I want to show you some of the things that I do with the cards. So as I shuffle the cards, generally there's a question that people want to ask me. So let's just throw out a question like, what are the keys for me to finding love, true love in my life? How can I find true love in my life? So after I've shuffled the cards, usually what I'll do is I'll hold them, maybe close my eyes and guide. You can do this too for our reading. We want to set an intention that the cards will show us what we need to know for our highest good, and that we know that we're the ones in control of our lives. We have free will. So even if the cards show us something, we get to decide. We're the ones who make our lives. These are potential outcomes, potential things for us to think about, and that we ask if you believe in such things to bring in your own guides, your angels, spirit guides, ancestors who want to watch over and give messages, whatever you believe, or if you just believe in the transpersonal aspects of the cards and what they mean to us in the time, just given our thought process. We want to welcome all of that in. So after I've shuffled, usually I'll cut the cards some random way. And then what I'll do with this one is I'll draw 3 cards, one for a past aspect, one for a present, and one for a future aspect. So we'll do that and I'll show you the cards. So again, we're talking about love. What can I do to bring in true love into my life? Is a general question that I get asked a lot. So I have 3 cards in front of me, and I'll show you each of them. The first card I have is the 7 of Arrows, or insecurity. This represents a past aspect of life. Is our first card. And in many different layouts, like these cards can mean different things. So this 7s are tough. 7s in any deck are tough. Arrows represent swords, and they represent, our craft, our the fruits of our labor, the things that we aim for, the goals that we set, and whether or not we're going to get them. And the 7 being insecurity, you can see on this card, it's a woman who's being shot at from all directions and creating a lot of insecurity. She's a little dramatic though. So if I were giving this reading to you, I would say in the past you've kind of felt like all your attempts at love have been really futile. And in the past you've gotten a little dramatic, a little too overly dramatic in saying, I'm never going to fall in love, woe is me, I am the victim, and no one understands me, I'm never going to fall in love. And I think that that's probably what this card is telling us with this insecurity. And maybe it's true, you've had a lot of loss in your life, you've had a lot of loss in relationships. There's no reason to be the victim though. So in your middle card is usually the present situation. So in this deck, it's called the Moon card, which is also called the Moon on Water. And so this is a great card. It's got aspects of a shriveling tree, which sometimes is the world tree. It's shriveling up. The moon is a reflective source of light, so we're reflecting. And the moon on water kind of shows us travel. So whenever I see this card as a present situation, this is a transition. There's been a life change right now, and there's some traveling and there's some motion going on. Maybe it's a loss, and maybe there's something you need to do now that you're doing where you're actually changing your environment, changing a way of thinking. It's a traveling through in the dark nights, maybe even the dark night of your soul, maybe even through those darkest times where all the light that you see is just reflected onto you. It's not an adequate source of inspiration, but yet this is what you're feeding off of. This is your light. Maybe right now you are surviving and you're looking for love and finding ways to do this through the support of others. Maybe not from yourself, because you can't necessarily control that, because you have this victim beforehand, right here. Your victim doesn't quite have the skills. You haven't had the skills in the past, so maybe you've had to rely on some of other people's knowledge and wisdom. And so that's kind of a new thing for you. The future card, card number 3 in this deck, is balance. And you see there are 2 dragons wrapped around a birch tree. So this is a symbol of balance and a symbol of intertwining. So if I were to draw this for you, wanting to talk about the future of love for you, is that I think you need to balance out possibility with your past. The red dragon being that of passion and fiery desire, with the kind of grayish blue dragon maybe putting those fears to rest. You notice he doesn't have very vibrant colors, so maybe having that victim mentality be a little more balanced with your passion. Have that caution when you come into a new possibility for a relationship or for love, but also keep that passion in balance. These 2 aspects together, it's good that we have fear. It's good that we have insecurity sometimes, because it's a message to us, and we sometimes can learn a lot from that. So we have a gut feeling that sometimes tells us, no, we need to stay away from that. So if we're balanced and not coming from this idea of victimhood, where it's all about me in the past and I've been so hurt, that's kind of the negative side of that victimhood and that past experience of hurt. But if we can balance that out with our passion, kind of neutralize that hurt, look at it objectively. Don't give it all the colors and all the vividness in your life that you did, but look at it. But look at it objectively. Compare it to the fiery passion you have right now if you find someone new, and say, is this valid for this situation? Is it not valid for this situation? And to really put that in perspective and come from a place of balance in your life in order to find love, romance, a new relationship. So again, I hope you enjoyed this reading. This is a sample reading of 3 cards. I'm happy to do readings for you. You can go to my website again, www.northerndruid.net, or this video will also be on my booking system. So just click below and find out how you can get your own reading. So go to the website, go to the booking site, and I'll be happy to provide you a nice reading. Thanks so much. Namaste.